Welcome everybody to the Five Flag Speedway as we are holding qualifying here today for the biggest late model race of the season. Yes, the SCRL Snowball Derby. For the second year in a row we are running here at the Five Flag Speedway for this annual race. We have 50 drivers that will be taking time here tonight in qualifying to set the field for the second inaugural race here in the Snowball Derby. Of course, this track has a 31 car limit, so we will be having 31 drivers that will be making the field. We will have 50 cars qualify to try and get into the field. We have a very well-established drivers that will be competing here at the Five Flag Speedway, this half-mile track. We have 26 of the 50 drivers that will be making their SCRL debut in this event. What a way to do it. And we have 17 former champions in this race that will be attempting to qualify for the second annual race. Of course, the Five Flag Speedway is this legendary half-mile track here in Pensacola, Florida. We are glad to be back here for the second time this season. Well, second time ever in this league that we are racing here, of course, at the Snowball Derby. Last year, Nick Kennedy won the pole with a time of 23.060, and Daniel Bouchard would start from the rear of the field, and he would go on to score a very historic win by leading 201 of the 300 laps. Shockingly, Daniel Bouchard is not one of the 50 drivers here this year, so we will have a first-time winner in terms of this race. And we will take you to our first driver. But first, here are the rules for this weekend's race. Of course, start with qualifying. The qualifying order has been determined by way of a random draw. Everyone will get 2 consecutive time laps. Once you have taken the white flag, you have an official time. No re-qualifying. So whatever time you post, that is what you will be stuck with. The fastest 20 times will be locked into the field. The remaining cars will run in the Snowflake 100, a 100-lap qualifying race, and the top 11 finishers will advance to the main Snowball Derby event. So those are all the rules. We will now take you to our first driver taking time here and qualify for the Snowball Derby. And the first car we have that will be attempting a lap is the number 22 of Amber Mayhew, who is the sister to Brandon and Randy Mayhew. Looking for a first ever start here in the Snowball Derby. And here goes Amber trying to complete her first lap as she takes the green flag into turn number 1. And in turn number 2, nice and smooth, staying at the bottom of the track. Go up high and a little bit in the back stretch into turn number 3. And the turn number 4 goes a little bit wide. Off the final turn, white flag. And her time is a 20.326. Not too bad. We'll have to see if she can pick it up this lap. Down the back stretch. Into turn number 3. And then turn number 4, sticking it right to the bottom, goes up a little bit off the corner, off the final turn. And a, wow, 20.004 seconds, 1/1000th of a second beneath the record of Nick Kennedy. She picked up a full lap time in terms of her speed on the last lap. She gained 3/10 on the last lap as well as she pulls in. Next out on track is the number 94 of Joey Crockett, making his first ever attempt here in the SCRL, trying to make a good showing in his first ever attempt here at the Snowball Derby. Here goes Joey Crockett with his first attempt at a lap, making his first ever laps here in SCRL competition. Remember, the first 20 drivers with the fastest laps, they will be automatically safe into the Snowball Derby. As Joey Crockett makes his way out of turn number 4. And let's see what his time is. A 20.242. That was faster than Amber Mayhew had. As he goes down the backstretch, we'll see what his time is this time. Nice and smooth, a little bit off the turn. And he takes the checker flag to end his 2 laps, and he puts a 20.013. Not faster than Amber, but still a very good time here in qualifying for Joey Crockett. Next out on track is the number 3 of Bam Bam Jones, driving the Team Realtree and Mom and Pop's Chevrolet. Bam Bam Jones is our 3rd straight rookie, looking to make his debut here in the Snowball Derby. And here goes Bam Bam Jones as he takes the green flag to begin lap number 1. Nice and smooth off turn number 2, down the back stretch. And to turn number 3. And to turn number 4, he goes a little bit wide. That's all right. As he crosses the start finish line, he gets a 20.248. That is the slowest of all 3 cars so far on their first laps. Hopefully he will pick it up this time. And the turn number 3 and the turn number 4, he sticks to the bottom, but he goes up a little bit high, just like the last time off the final turn. Checkered flag. And wow! A flying lap by Bam Bam Jones, a 19.915, a new record by the rookie. Next up in qualifying, we have the number 68 Ford of Kip Silverpoint. Excuse me, that's a Chevrolet. Another rookie making his first attempt here in the Snowball Derby. And here goes Kip Silverpoint, taking the green flag to begin lap number 1 of his qualifying attempt. Nice and easy into turn number 1 in his 68 Chevrolet, down and back stretch. Into turn number 3, into turn number 4. White flag, and a 20.205. Wow, that is the fastest of any first lapper so far, with a speed of 89.087. Into turn number 3, into turn number 4, goes up a little bit off the turn like all the cars have done, and checkered flag, and a 20.023, an 89.490 miles per hour. That is actually the slowest time we've had so far here in qualifying after the first 4 cars that have attempted a lap here at Five Flags Speedway. Up next in qualifying, we have the number 21 Chevrolet of Randy Mayhew, a former 3-time winner here in the SCRL, but making his first ever attempt here in the Snowball Derby as well. As Randy Mayhew gets the green flag to begin his first qualifying attempt here in the Snowball Derby. See how he does in his first ever attempt at this track. Into turn number 3. Up the hill a little bit into turn number 4. White flag, and Randy Mayhew gets a 20.097. That is the fastest in terms of the first lap average. See how he does in his second attempt. Off turn number 4. Checkered flag, and wow, what a flying lap. A 19.960, 89.872 miles per hour. That will put Randy Mayhew second in terms of qualifying. So 5 drivers in, we already have 2 drivers that have broken the track record in terms of qualifying. And up next, we have the number 51 Toyota of Blaze Ebertar. Last year, he tried to make this race, but he failed to qualify. He's going to try and turn his luck around here in the second annual event. There's the green flag for Blaze Ebertar as he makes his way off into turn number 1. Trying for the second year in a row to make the Snowball Derby, driving for Kyle Busch Motorsports. Into turn number 3. Into turn number 4. He goes up the hill just a little bit earlier than some of the other drivers. Off the final turn, and his time is a 20.271. It is the 5th slowest out of 6 cars. Not a good showing so far for Blaze. Down the back stretch, into turn number 3. Into turn number 4, he goes way wide again off that turn. And he takes the checker flag, and a time of 20.193. That is the slowest of 6 cars. So not a good showing for Blaze in both laps. He will most likely have to race his way in the Snowflake 100, but we still have a long way to go here in qualifying. The next car we have attempting to qualify is the number 01 of David Briers in the Clariton Steakhouse Chevrolet. Briers making his first ever attempt here in the Snowball Derby. And there's the green flag for the 01 of David Briers. Into turn number 1, right up against the wall. Into turn number 2, down the back stretch, right up against the wall. Cuts it down. Into turn number 3, into turn number 4, he goes up a little bit. Police lap number 1 with a 20.484. That is the slowest time of any driver so far in terms of their first lap. Down the back stretch into turn number 3. Once again, he wants to try and improve on his lap. Goes up a little bit. Off the final turn, checkered flag, and it is a 20.221 seconds. That is the slowest of all 7 cars so far, so he didn't really pick up any on his lap aside from 0.2 of a second, but he is the slowest of all 7 cars so far here in qualifying. Next out on track is the number 17 Belfast Variety Ford of Chase Abbott, making his first ever attempt here in the Snowball Derby. Trying to get a good run. And there's the green flag for Chase Abbott. Off into turn number 1. Into turn number 2. Down the back stretch. Into turn number 3. Into turn number 4. Goes a little bit to the second lane to get some momentum. Off the final turn, white flag. And he did a 20.284 seconds. Not too bad. See if he can pick it up on his final lap. Into turn number 3. Into turn number 4 with a run. Off the final turn, and wow, what a lap. 19.575. He was 0.4 of a second faster than Randy Mayhew, and we have a new pole setter. That, as of right now, is Chase Abbott. The next driver to make an attempt at qualifying is the 75 Chevrolet Napa Auto Parts of Mike White, who is also making his first ever attempt here in the SCRL Snowball Derby. And there's the green flag for Mike White. Off into turn number 1. Into turn number 2. Down the back stretch. He wants to get a good first lap so he can have the momentum for lap number 2. Off the final turn. Mike White's first lap is a 20.393, 88.266 miles per hour. Not too bad. He's looking to pick it up here on lap number 2. Into turn number 3. Into turn number 4. Off the final turn, Mike White, a 20.067. That will place him 7th overall. Not too bad, just nothing too special on his lap, but you just want to make the top 20. Up next is the 112 car of 7-time champion and all-time race winner Checa Whiteline. She is driving the same car that Daniel Bouchard won this event 1 year ago. And there's the green flag for Checa Whiteline, making her first ever attempt here in the Snowball Derby, the former 7-time champion. Looking for a good first lap here at Five Flag Speedway. Into turn number 3. Into turn number 4. Her first lap is a 20.401, 88.231 seconds. Not too bad. We'll have to see if she can improve on her second lap. Her first time ever at this track, so it's a little bit of a challenge for her. Off the final turn. And wow, what a pickup. 19.869, 89.397 miles per hour. That will put her second in terms of qualifying as of right now. So unless something really bad goes on to her She will make the field. Coming out next to attempt a lap is the number 18 NOS Energy Drink Toyota of Cameron Hathaway, making his first ever attempt here at the Snowball Derby. He'll begin his qualifying lap. And there's the green flag for Cameron Hathaway. Off into turn number 1. Into turn number 2. Down the back stretch. Into turn number 3. Into turn number 4 goes a little bit wide. That's alright, as we've seen every driver do. Off the final turn. 20.001 seconds, 89.996 miles per hour. That will put Cameron Hathaway 5th as of right now. We'll have to see if he can do better this lap as he sticks right to the bottom of the track. Into turn number 3, goes a little bit wide off turn number 4. That's going to hurt his momentum off the final turn. 19.957, 90.095 miles per hour. That will move him up one spot. Cameron Hathaway is currently 4th in qualifying as of right now. Next in qualifying is the 03 Dean's Wrecker Service, number 03 of Leif Magnus, making his first ever attempt here in the SCRL. And there's the green flag for Leif Magnus as he heads off towards turn number 1. This is his first ever attempt at a lap here in the SCRL, making his league debut, hopefully making his league debut. Into turn number 3, into turn number 4. Off the final turn. His first lap is a 20.331, 88.535. That is the slowest of all drivers so far. He's going to have to pick it up this lap. Into turn number 3. Into turn number 4 in his Chevrolet. Off the final turn. His second lap is a 20.257. He picked up a tenth of a second, 88.696. But unfortunately, that puts Leif Magnus last of all the 12 drivers that have completed a lap. So he's got a lot to do in the Snowflake 100 if he is in that event. Up next in qualifying is the number 6 Bailey's Ford of Simon Fox, a former 7-time race winner here in the SCRL, making his first ever attempt here in the Snowball Derby. And there's the green flag for Simon Fox as he makes his way off into turn number 1. Into turn number 2. Down the back stretch as we've seen 14 times so far here tonight in qualifying. Into turn number 4, a little bit wide. That's all right. He's going to get a run off the final turn. And Simon Fox's first lap is a 20.304, 88.653. That is the slowest of all 13 cars so far. He's going to hope to pick it up this lap. Otherwise, he's going to be placed in the qualifying race, the Snowflake 100. Off the final turn. Checkered flag. And wow, what an improvement. 19.885, 89.577 miles per hour. That bumps Simon Fox up to 3rd as of right now in qualifying. What a huge improvement on his second lap. So, good showing for Simon Fox so far here in qualifying. Next up in qualifying is the number 99 Clarence's Steakhouse Toyota of AJ Fagan, making his first ever attempt here in the SCRL, here in the Snowball Derby. And there's a green flag. Off into turn number 1 for AJ. Into turn number 2. Making his first ever lap here in SCRL competition. Trying to make his first ever race here in the biggest late model event of the season, the Snowball Derby. Off turn number 4. Eddie Fagan. First lap is a 20.125, 89.441 miles per hour. That puts him 11th on the grid as of right now. Remember, the top 20 speeds in terms of time, they will race automatically in the Snowball Derby. Everybody else has to race their way in. Off the final turn. Wow, 19.785 seconds, 90.203 miles per hour. That moves AJ Fagan up to 2nd in terms of the rankings right now. Next out on track is the number 93 of Roger James. He competed in this race one season ago. It was actually his league debut. So Roger James looking for another start here in the Snowball Derby. There's the green flag for Roger James. James is still a rookie in this league. He has yet to find victory lane. He has finished last place 3 times in the Canadian Series. He's hopefully going to look to turn that around here in the Snowball Derby if he makes it in off turn number 4. Roger James's first lap is a 20.137, 89.388 miles per hour. That will put him 12th on the grid. Ironically, that's where Roger James started in the first ever Snowball Derby. He started 12th. Let's see if he can improve on his second lap. Off the final turn. And Roger James puts down a lap time of 20.006, 89.680 miles per hour. That will bump him up 3 spots. Roger James is now currently in the 9th position. Next out on qualifying is the number 2 Ford of A.J. Jones. Going to see if A.J. can post a good time here in qualifying. There's the green flag for A.J. Jones. Looking to post a good time. Last year, he started in the 7th position. He would go on to finish 5th in the Snowball Derby, so he's going to try a little bit better this year. Off turn number 4. A.J. Jones's first lap is a 20.379, 88.326 miles per hour. That will put him last place, 16th as of right now. Into turn number 3. Into turn number 4, he wants to gain some momentum. Off the final turn. Well, he picked it up just a little bit. 20.026 seconds, 89.098 miles per hour. That will move A.J. Jones up to 12th place. Up next is the number 98 of Jacob Athens, who is driving the same car that Ryan Pritchard drove to a 2nd place finish in this very race 1 year ago. And there's the green flag for Jacob Athens. Into turn number 1. Into turn number 2, down the back stretch. As I mentioned before, this car raced last year with Ryan Pritchard and finished 2nd place. Jacob Athens trying to give this car its 2nd ever start here in the Snowball Derby. 20.092 seconds, 89.588 miles per hour. That puts Jacob Athens 14th. Currently in qualifying. As he makes his way through the final 2 turns, he's going to look to gain some momentum. There it is, and wow, he jumped up big time. 19.850, 90.131 miles per hour. That moves Jacob Athens into the 3rd on the qualifying lineup so far. Next out on track is the number 14 Keystone Light Mirror Chevrolet of Chase Miller. Last year, this car was ran by someone else. Chase Miller was also one of the 19 drivers who failed to qualify, so looking for his first appearance here in the Snowball Derby. There's the green flag for Chase Miller. Off into turn number 1. Into turn number 2. Down the back stretch. Chase Miller's looking to get a good run. Into turn number 3, into turn number 4. Chase Miller's first lap is a 20.179, 89.202. That puts him 15th in the standings. Into turn number 3. Into turn number 4. There's the checkered flag. And Chase Miller's second lap is a 20.064, 89.457. That puts him 14th in the overall standings, so he gained 1 spot in his second lap. Next out on track is the number 97 Ford of Tyler Woods, who will be looking to try and make his SCRL debut in this race. And there's a green flag for Tyler Woods. making his first ever laps here at SCRL competitions, trying to make his first ever Snowball Derby. And turn number 3. And turn number 4. Off the final turn. Tyler Woods' first lap is a 20.227, 88.990 miles per hour. That puts Tyler Woods 18th. Wants to pick it up a little bit on his second lap. Off the final turn. And he will. 19.953, 89.597 miles per hour. That puts Tyler Woods 7th in the overall standings. Up next in qualifying is the 07 Chevrolet of Heath Wilton. One of the many drivers in this field that will be trying to make their first ever start here in the second annual Snowball Derby. There's the green flag. Off into turn number 1. And to turn number 2, down the back stretch. And turn number 3. And to turn number 4. Heath Miller's first lap is a 20.149, 89.335 miles per hour. That puts him 17th. Currently in the standings. Nice and easy through turn number 4. Off the final turn. Looks like Heath Wilton is able to pick it up just a little bit. 20.032, 89.595. That moves him up 2 spots. Heath Wilton is now 15th in the standings. Up next is the 00 Chevrolet of Alan Noel, looking for his first ever attempt here in the SCRL. There's the green flag. Allen drives it off into turn number 1. Into turn number 2, down the back stretch. This is his first ever lap here in SCRL competition. He has never raced. And what a way he's going to try and make his debut by starting in the biggest late model event of the season. His first lap is a 20.242, 88.924 miles per hour. That puts him 20th. That puts him second to last. That puts him 20 out of 21 cars that have ran. Off the final turn. See if he can pick up any. A very small amount. He gained 1/1000th of a second. 20.241, 88.926 miles per hour. That leaves Alan Noel still in the 20th position. Next, making an attempt in qualifying is the number 16 Ford, Byron Bell. Still a rookie here in the SCRL. Last year, he did not compete in the Snowball Derby, but this year, he will try and make his way into the field. There's the green flag for Byron Bell. Off into turn number 1. Into turn number 2, down the back stretch. He wants to post a good enough time where he doesn't have to race in the Snowflake 100. He wants to automatically be in the main event. As he completes his first lap. His first lap is a 20.306, 88.644 miles per hour. That puts him last of all 22 cars that have posted a time. He wants to pick it up this lap. Remember, the top 20 automatically advances. Off the final turn. Well, he picked it up, a 20.236, 88.797 miles per hour. That puts him 20th in the lineup so far. Next out on track is the number 5 Chevrolet of Ryan Pryor, who is also looking to make his league debut here in the biggest late model event of the season. There's the green flag as Ryan Pryor begins the first of 2 laps here in qualifying. Into turn number 3. Into turn number 4. Off the final turn. Ryan Pryor's first lap is a 20.314, 88.609. That is the slowest of all 23 cars. He's going to want to pick it up unless he will be competing in the Snowflake 100. Off the final turn. And yeah, wow, he did pick it up. He gained 3/10 of a second, 20.086, 89.109 miles per hour. That bumps him up into 18th place. Up next is the number 49 Abbott Trucking Chevrolet of Chris White. Looking to make his first ever start. There's the green flag. Off towards turn number 1. Into turn number 2. Chris White making it nice and easy into turn number 3. Into turn number 4. He's going to try and get some momentum as he completes his first lap. 20.378 seconds, 88.331. That puts him 24th, the slowest, of course, of all drivers. He's going to look for his second lap to be faster. Off the final turn, and yep, wow. 19.992 seconds, 89.175. That will move Chris White into 10th position as of right now in qualifying. Next in qualifying is the number 92 Home Depot Chevrolet of Matt Collard. Looking to make his first ever appearance here in the Snowball Derby. There's the green flag as Matt Collard makes his first ever laps here in SCRL competition. Trying to make his first ever Snowball Derby as well. I've said that a lot, but it's true. A lot of drivers are making their debut here in this race. Off the final turn. Matt's first lap is a 20.330, 88.539 miles per hour. That puts him 25th and last. And the qualifying results. And to turn number 4 for his final time. And wow, he picked it up almost a full second. 19.966, 89.339 miles per hour. That will put Matt in 10th place. Up next in qualifying is the number 44 of Fisher Miller, making his first ever attempt as well here in the Snowball Derby. And there's the green flag as Fisher Miller makes his first ever attempt around this track. Down the back stretch into turn number 3. And at turn number 4, we're going to see what his first lap is. And Fisher Miller's first lap is a 20.134, 89.401 miles per hour. That puts him 21st. Not too bad. See if he can pick it up on his second lap. Of course, only the top 20 drivers will automatically advance to the main Snowball Derby event. There's a checker flag, and yep, he picked it up. 19.892, 89.942 miles per hour. That puts Fisher Miller, as of right now, 6th in qualifying. Next out on track is the number 15 of David Elon. He is one of the many rookies that will be trying to make his SCRL debut here in the second annual Snowball Derby. There's the green flag as David Elon makes his first ever laps here in the SCRL and here in qualifying. He wants to get a good lap because once again, remember, only the top 20 will advance. Off the final turn, his first lap, 20.156, 89.304 miles per hour. That puts him 22nd out of 27 cars that have qualified. So not too impressive on his first lap. But we've seen that a lot here tonight. We'll have to see if he can pick it up on his second. He picked it up a little bit, 20.110, 89.406 miles per hour, but he remains 22nd overall here in qualifying. Up next in qualifying is the third ever Chaka who is trying to race in the Snowball Derby. That is Chaka Duskwatcher, making her first ever attempt to try and make the Snowball Derby. There's the green flag as Chaka Duskwatcher makes her first ever lap here around the Five Flags Speedway. Trying to make her first ever attempt at this event and hopefully qualifying. Off turn number 4, her first lap, 20.535, 87.655 miles per hour. That puts her last out of all 28 cars so far. We'll have to see if she can pick it up because remember, the top 20 automatically advances. Off turn number 4. Well, she did pick it up, 20.261, 88.244 miles per hour, but she remains last on the field in 28th position. Next out on track is the number 53 of Weston Roper, one of the several drivers who will be attempting to make his SCRL debut here in this race. Looking for a fast first lap. There's the green flag for Weston Roper as he makes his first lap here around the Five Flags Speedway. Trying to get a good run. And he wants to get a lap within inside the top 20 so he does not have to race in the Snowflake 100. Off turn number 4. Weston Roper's first lap is a 20.321, 88.578 miles per hour. That puts him 28th overall. He's going to have to step it up a little bit if he wants to make it inside the top 20. Off turn number 4. There's a checker flag to end his second lap. And he did pick it up, 20.079, 89.109 miles per hour. That puts him 21st overall here in qualifying. Next out on track is the number 7 Graham Trucking Ford of John Otson, looking to make his first ever attempt here in the SCR race here in the second annual Snowball Derby. There's the green flag for John Otson. Up into turn number 1. Into turn number 2. Down the backstretch into turn number 3. Into turn number 4. Off the final turn. And across the start finish line, John Otson's first lap is a 20.182, 89.188 miles per hour. That puts him 24th out of 30 cars that have taken time. So he needs to pick it up unless he's going to be in the Snowflake 100. Into turn number 3. Into turn number 4 for the final time. There's a checker flag to complete his second lap, and he actually lost 20.285, 88.961 miles per hour. He will remain in 24th spot here in qualifying. Up next in qualifying is the number 0 Architect Glass Ford, a 4-time former champion here in the SCRL, Sebastian Torres, who last year did not even compete in the Snowball Derby. So this will be his first ever attempt here at the second annual event. There's the green flag for Sebastian Torres, who is making his first ever lap around the Snowball Derby track, well, the Five Flags Speedway, to try and get in his first ever Snowball Derby race. Up the final turn, Sebastian Torres' first lap is a 20.524, 87.702. That puts him 31st, the slowest of all cars that have posted a time so far. Into turn number 3. And turn number 4, he wants to pick it up on his final lap. And he did. 0.3 of a second, 20.274, 88.248. But that still puts Sebastian Torres 31st and last in qualifying. Next out on track is the number 58 Chevrolet of Austin Nash, who will be making his first attempt at the Snowball Derby, as he did not compete in this race 1 year ago. Looking for a good qualifying time. There's the green flag for Austin Nash, making his first ever lap around the Five Flag Speedway. He wants to get into the top 20, so he does not have to be in the qualifying race, but you never know what could happen in that event. Off the final turn, Austin Nash's first lap is a 20.107, 89.521. That puts him 23rd out of 32 cars that have posted a time. He wants to pick it up on his final lap off the final turn. And he does. 20.061, 89.624 miles per hour. That puts Austin Nash, as of right now, in the 19th position. Next out on track is the number 81 Chevrolet of Chris Kyle, the former Tim Hortons Canadian Series champion, making his first ever attempt in the Snowball Derby, as he decided to sit out of it 1 year ago. There's the green flag for Chris Kyle, as he makes his first ever lap around this Five Flag Speedway. Again, as I mentioned during the entire time of qualifying, the top 20 drivers will automatically make it into the field. Let's see what Chris Kyle's first lap is. 20.068, 89.695 miles per hour. That puts him 22nd as of right now out of 33 cars that have posted times. Turn number 3 into turn number 4 for the final time. Goes up the track just a little bit to try and get a run off the final turn. And wow, 19.698 seconds, 90.530. That puts Chris Kyle second in qualifying. Next out on track is the 02 of Reeves Montgomery, who is going to attempt to make his first ever SCRL race. Not just the Snowball Derby, but the first ever race here in his SCRL career. There's the green flag for Reeves Montgomery, making his way into turn number 1 and into turn number 2. Down the backstretch for the first time. He wants to get a spot inside the top 20 to advance. His first lap is a 20.158, 89.295 miles per hour. That puts him 25th out of the 34 cars that have posted a time in qualifying. Into turn number 3, into turn number 4, checker flag. And his second lap, he picked it up, 19.998, 89.650. That puts Reeves Montgomery 14th as of right now in qualifying. Next up in qualifying is the number 48 of Nick Kennedy, a former two-time series champion here in this league. 1 year ago, Kennedy started from the pole. He's going to try and win the pole for the second year in a row. There's the green flag for Nick Kennedy. As I mentioned, 1 year ago, he won the pole for this race, and he advanced to the main Snowball Derby. Want to see if he can do the same thing this year in a different ride. Off turn number 4. Nick Kennedy's first lap is a 20.273, 88.788 miles per hour. That puts him 34th out of the 35 cars that have ran so far. So not so great on his first lap. Off the final turn. His second lap, he did pick it up, 20.135, 89.091. That moves him up to 26th spot. So Nick Kennedy will have to race in the Snowflake 100. Next out on track is the 08 of Blaine Saylor, who'll be looking to try and make his first ever Snowball Derby appearance. There's the green flag for Blaine Saylor. Makes his way off into turn number 1. Into turn number 2, down the back stretch. Into turn number 3, into turn number 4. Off the final turn. Good first lap, 20.060, 89.731 miles per hour. That puts him 21st in his first lap. So he is one spot away from being locked into the field. Of course, barring people qualifying faster than him. Off the final turn. Yeah, he picked it up again. 20.007 seconds, 89.850 miles per hour. That puts him 17th out of 36 cars that have qualified. Next out on track is the number 50 of Kristen Russell, looking to make his first ever Snowball appearance, as well as become the first driver to win both the Snowball Derby and the Chili Bowl, since he won the Chili Bowl 1 year ago. There's the green flag for Kristen Russell as he begins his first qualifying lap. Remember, once again, the top 20 drivers automatically advance into the Snowball Derby. The other drivers will have to compete in the Snowflake 100. Off the final turn. Kristen Russell's first lap is a 20.236, 88.950 miles per hour. That puts him 33rd out of 37 cars that have posted a time. He's going to want to do better on his second lap, try and pick up some time. Off the final turn. And he does. He gained 0.3 of a second, 19.980, 89.517. That puts Kristen Russell, as of right now, 13th in qualifying. Next out on track is the number 9 Ford of Austin Tyler, looking to make his first ever appearance here in the Snowball Derby. He wants to get a good run. There's the green flag for Austin Tyler, off into turn number 1. Making his first ever trip around this Five Flag Speedway. Off into turn number 3. Into turn number 4. Austin Tyler's first lap is a 20.025, 89.888 miles per hour. That puts him 21st out of 38 cars that have posted a time so far. Into turn number 3, into turn number 4. Let's see if he can pick it up on his second lap. And he does. 19.854 seconds, 90.273. That puts Austin Tyler, as of right now, 5th in qualifying. Next up in qualifying is the unsponsored number 59 Chevrolet of Owen Carvin, making his first ever attempt here in the Snowball Derby. There's the green flag. Off into turn number 1 for Owen. And to turn number 2. Into turn number 3. Into turn number 4. See how his first lap goes. 20.276, 88.775 miles per hour. That puts him 39th out of 39 cars. So Owen has the slowest of all 39 cars that have made an attempt here in qualifying. See if he can pick up on his second lap. And wow, he actually lost 20.290, 88.744. Owen Carvin remains 39th here in qualifying. Next out on track is the number 52 unsponsored Chevrolet of Billy Kidd. Billy Kidd is the 40th driver out of 50 that'll be making an attempt here in the Snowball Derby here in qualifying. There's the green flag for Billy Kidd. Starting the first of 2 laps here in qualifying. We have 10 cars to go to see who will set the field and who will have to race in the Snowflake 100. Billy Kidd's first lap is a 20.326, 88.557 miles per hour. That puts him 40th, slowest of all the drivers that have gone so far. If he doesn't want to be in the qualifying race, he needs to pick it up on his second lap. Yeah, wow, he did. 20.072, 89.113. That puts Billy Kidd currently in the 27th position. Next up on track is the number 10 of Savannah Colton, making her first ever attempt here in the Snowball Derby. There's the green flag for Savannah as she makes her first ever laps here in the SCRL, trying to make her first ever Snowball Derby. Into turn number 3. And the turn number 4 goes up a little bit wide like everybody has done. Her first lap is a 20.109, 89.512. That puts her 29th out of 41 cars that have posted a time. So she needs to pick it up on her last lap if she wants to make it into the top 20. Off the final turn. And yeah, wow, she did pick it up. 19.897, 89.987 miles per hour. That puts Savannah in 9th position. Next out on track is the number 09 of Chase Trest, making his first ever appearance here in the Snowball Derby. We'll try and lock in his number 09 Chevrolet into the top 20. There's the green flag as Chase Trest makes his way around the Five Flag Speedway for the first time under power. As the rookie makes his way off turn number 4. His first lap is a 20.311, 88.622 miles per hour. That puts him 42nd out of 42 cars that have made a time. So he wants to step it up on his second and final lap. Off the final turn. Well, he picked up 3/10, 20.075, 89.140, but that puts him 29th overall. So he'll have to race his way into the field in the Snowflake 100. Next out on track is the 04 Chevrolet of Eric Thorson, who will be looking to make his first ever start here at the Snowball Derby, but he has to qualify inside the top 20 to make the field. There's the green flag for Eric Thorson, the 43rd car that is attempting to make a time here in qualifying. Luckily, in all 43 attempts, we have had no problem so far, which is a surprise, but you never know in qualifying. Off the final turn, Eric Thorson's first lap is a 19.972, 90.126. That puts him 15th. He is not locked into the top 20. He needs to pick it up a little bit more. With 7 drivers to go, if he can get above 13th, he will be all right. Off the final turn. And he did it. 19.935, 90.2110. That puts Eric Thorson in the 11th position. Next up in qualifying is the number 05 Toyota of Jonathan Lawson, looking to make his first ever attempt here at the Snowball Derby, and hopefully he will race in it. There's the green flag for Jonathan Lawson. He becomes the 44th car in line to attempt a lap. Off the final turn. His first lap is a 20.426, 88.123 miles per hour. That puts him 44th, slowest of all the drivers so far. Into turn number 3. Into turn number 4. Slides up the track just a little bit. Off the final turn. And whoa. 19.836, 89.414 miles per hour. That bumps him 40 spots up. Jonathan Lawson is now 4th here in qualifying. Next out on track is the number 1 Chevrolet of Mike Jones, looking to make his first ever attempt here in the Snowball Derby. There's the green flag for Mike White, who is driving the same car that Checa Lightning Blaze tried to make the field once a year ago, but failed to qualify. Mike White looking to have better success here in qualifying as he makes his way off turn number 4. Mike White's first lap is a 20.250, 88.889 miles per hour. That puts him 41st out of 45 cars that have attempted a lap. He's going to have to pick it up on his second lap, unless he's going to be running in the Snowflake 100. He picked it up 0.2 of a second, 20.008, 89.423, but that puts Mike White only 23rd here in qualifying. Next up in qualifying is the number 24 of Brandon Mayhew. 1 year ago, Mayhew made this race. He finished 15th, looking to finish better here in the second running of this event. There's the green flag for Brandon Mayhew. Once again, attempting his second ever Snowball Derby event last year. Of course, he finished 15th. He wants to improve on that, but first he has to get past qualifying. Off turn number 4. His first lap is a 20.164, 89.268 miles per hour. That puts him 36 out of 46 cars. He's going to have to pick it up quite a bit if he wants to be inside the top 20. Off turn number 4. Mayhew actually lost time, 20.228, 89.127. So Brandon Mayhew is currently 36th in qualifying. Next out on track is the number 26 Jegs Ford of Cooter Jenkins, looking to make his first ever appearance here in the Snowball Derby. Looking for a good qualifying lap. There's the green flag as Cooter makes his first lap around here at Five Flag Speedway. He is car number 47 out of qualifying. We have 3 to go after him, and qualifying will be over. Off the final turn, Cooter's first lap is a 20.230, 88.977. That puts him 40th out of 47 cars. He's going to have to pick it up some if he's going to want to skip the Snowflake 100. Off the final turn, nice and smooth in his Ford. And yeah, he picked it up, 19.918, 89.668. That puts Cooter Jenkins 12th overall. Next out on track is the number 24 of Noel Holiday. Noel is the 48th car that will be making time here in qualifying, as Noel Holiday begins his first lap here around Five Flags. Remember, the top 20 advances automatically to the main Snowball Derby event. If you post a time that is not within the top 20, you will compete in the Snowflake 100. Noel Holiday's first lap is a 20.219, 89.025. That puts him 40th out of 48 cars that have posted a time. So not a good first lap. He's going to want to pick it up on lap number 2. Nice and easy around turn number 4. And wow, yeah, he picked it up. 19.843, 89.861. That moves Noel Holiday up to 5th here in qualifying with 2 cars to go. Next out on track is the number 4 of Brian Fox, making his first ever attempt here in the Snowball Derby. He is the 49 driver that will be attempting to make a time here in qualifying. There's the green flag for Brian Fox. As for the first time ever, he drives around the Five Flag Speedway. He's raced on many tracks. He has never raced here. See if he can use his past experience on those other tracks here. Off the final turn. Brian Fox's first lap is a 20.159, 89.290. That puts him 38 out of 49 cars that have qualified. See if he can pick it up on his final lap. Into turn number 3, into turn number 4, off the final turn. Can he pick it up any? No, Brian Fox actually loses time, 20.400, 88.760. That leaves Brian Fox still in 38th place. And here we go, last out on track is number 57 of Hale Hyatt. He is the 50th and final driver that will be posting time here in qualifying to try and make his first ever Snowball Derby event. Ladies and gentlemen, just as we were going to have qualifying for Hale Hyatt, the 57 car has actually blown up. Engine failure for the 57 car, so Hyatt will not actually post a lap here in qualifying, so Hyatt will automatically be placed 50 out of 50 cars. So that is it here for qualifying. Unfortunately, the engine has expired before Hyatt even got a chance to qualify. So horrible luck for the 57 car. He's going to have a lot to go through because he's going to have to start at the rear of the field in the Snowflake 100. And he will pull into his pit stall, and that'll be it for qualifying. And that is it in terms of qualifying. As you can see on the screen, Chase Abbott scores his first ever pole here in the Snowball Derby. Chris Kyle will start second. Third was A.J. Fagan. Fourth is Jonathan Lawson. Fifth, Noel Holliday. Sixth, Jacob Athens. Seventh, Austin Tyler. Eighth, Checa White Lion. Ninth, Simon Fox. 10th, Fisher Miller. 11th, Savannah Colton. 12th, Bam Bam Jones. 13th, Cooter Jenkins. 14th, Eric Thorson. 15th, Tyler Woods. 16th, Cameron Hathaway. 17th, Randy Mayhew. 18th, Matt Collard. 19th, Kristen Russell. And 20th, Chris White. All 20 of those drivers will automatically move on to the main Snowball Derby. These drivers over here on the right side of the screen from 21st to 50th will compete in the Snowflake 100, where the top 11 drivers will advance to the Snowball Derby. And the Snowflake 100 will have Reeves Montgomery, Amber Mayhew, Roger James, Blaine Saylor, Mike Jones, Joey Crockett, Kip Silverpoint, A.J. Jones, Heath Wilton, Austin Nash, Chase Miller, Mike White, Billy Kidd, Chase Christ, Ryan Pryor, David Elon, Nick Kennedy, Brian Fox, Brandon Mayhew, John Otson, Blaze Ebertar, David Byers, Byron Bell, Alan Noel, Leaf Magnus, Weston Roper, Chaka Deskwatcher, Sebastian Torres, Owen Carvin, and of course, Hale Hyatt, who did not even get a chance to qualify due to a blown engine during his qualifying lap. So I want to thank everybody who attended qualifying today. Hopefully you enjoyed the new format and the graphics on the screen. We'll next see you for the second annual Snowflake 100 to set the final 11 spots for the Snowball Derby.